What is going on YouTube? Jack Neary here from Fantasy Farm Sports, and we're talking the NFL draft and the combine. A couple of our teams this year didn't perform as we liked them to, and so we have something to look forward to. We're drafting quarterbacks, we're drafting running backs, and we're drafting offensive linemen. That way, we can get to the Super Bowl next year, or at least perform much better. The thing that's driving me crazy is these players that don't want to participate in the combine. Okay. And they're notable quarterbacks that teams are going to spend a whole ton of money on, whole ton of capital, lots of time with quarterbacks, coaches, offensive coordinators, all that stuff. Yet these kids don't want to compete at the combine. And most notably, no Caleb Williams, no Jaden Daniels, and at this year's combine, Drake May will be taking interviews. Isn't that great? Because, that's what he's going to be paid to do in the NFL. He's going to be paid to, give interviews at podiums, probably after losses. I mean, you're paid to throw the ball. Show that you can do it, right? That's my whole thing. I don't like players that don't want to compete at the NFL combine. It's your first opportunity to showcase your skill against the competition, right? Like when you're playing college football or any game for that matter, right? When you go out there on the field or court or whatever, it's you and your team against them and their team. But in this case, it's just you standing there throwing to other receivers. Right. And it doesn't have to be a perfect pass, but they're also trying to figure out whether you've developed relationships with these said receivers, or, whether you got the guy a drink, or can you throw the 7 route? There's all these things that are being factored into whether I'm going to give you millions of dollars. And the first thing that you do is not show up. It drives me crazy. Instead, players are foregoing their first battle, and they're opting for a coddled pro day, and they'll look good. That's the thing. No player has people. Nobody's ever showed up to a pro day going, that guy looked terrible. I mean, his field, his receivers, his mom, his dad, all everybody he wants there. Of course, you're gonna look great in that environment. But I want to see what happens to you when things aren't going great. When the going gets tough, do you stay tough or do you get going? Because right now, Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels and Drake May just look weak. They don't look like guys that are willing to compete. They're willing to sit there and ride out their college film, and what they've put out there is what you should like. I'm more apt to watch and see what happens with the quarterbacks that are willing to compete. JJ McCarthy just got done winning a national title, and it's not easy to have that kind of consistency throughout a whole entire college football season. He's throwing. Michael Penix Jr., also in that same national title game, also throwing. And Bo Nix, who's been in college football for 50 years, is also going to showcase some of his skills and try to improve his draft stock. I'm really interested in the guys that want to go out there and give us an example, a good example of what it is at the end of the year if you want to move up to a different level. Now, there are prominent quarterbacks out there that haven't thrown at the combine. I've got a little list of them. You guys could jot it down as I read them off. Here are the names. Derek Carr didn't throw. Teddy Bridgewater, Johnny Manziel. How'd that work out? Andrew Luck didn't throw. Neither did Robert Griffin III. Ryan Tannehill, Brock Osweiler, Blaine Gabbert, Sam Bradford. Tim Tebow didn't throw. We love Tim Tebow. Matthew Stafford didn't throw. Neither did Matt Ryan. Jamarcus Russell barely played football. He also didn't throw. Brady Quinn didn't throw. And most recently, Joe Burrow didn't throw. Kyler Murray didn't throw. And the guy who looks like a bust from last year, Bryce Young, didn't throw. And I often think in most of their cases, they didn't throw because they were trying to hide deficiencies. Or they put enough good stuff out there where they didn't have to, right? Joe Burrow didn't have to throw. Walked into Tuscaloosa, killed Alabama, won the national title game, and 60 plus touchdowns. He didn't need to throw. Kyler Murray, running quarterback, we knew what we were getting. Nice arm, didn't really need to throw. But Bryce Young was hiding stuff. Johnny Manziel, hiding things. Robert Griffin III didn't turn out all that great. Brock Osweiler, he's like 6'9", but that's his greatest attribute, not a great arm. Tim Tebow, what would have happened if he threw? Boy, nobody would have jumped on that Tebow train. Matt Stafford and Matt Ryan, we kind of knew. And Jamarcus Russell could throw the ball to the moon, but he wasn't willing to put in the time. If you were compared, let me ask you guys this. If you were compared to a quarterback, let's say, like Patrick Mahomes, and words like generational were thrown around talking about you, they were being placed upon your head like a crown before you even got there. If those words were being mentioned about you, then go act like a king. Go be a king because you're going to walk in there, strut around, do exactly what comes easy to you, and then you're done. World class singers don't get nervous in front of a crowd. 100,000 people, it's easy because they know they're that good. They're going to walk out there, give you an hour of their time. They have such great talent that they're going to walk out there and give you the greatest show you've ever. They're going to belt notes you never even knew existed because they're awesome. They don't go, well, I don't have to. Well, I don't know if I'll sing tonight. That's what people at karaoke nights do. People at karaoke nights don't necessarily sing all the time. They sing great every once in a while, but to constantly and consistently put forth a great effort, touring that voice, that's what championships and winning is made out of. The only reason why you wouldn't go out there and do it is if you knew you weren't the king. If you knew the comparisons to Patrick Mahomes were far-fetched, fairy tales. If you knew you weren't the guy, you leave a little bit to the imagination. But if you're the man, you go out there and show everybody. That's what makes me a little nervous about Caleb Williams. Not the whole, oh, his dad is out there asking for partnerships and ownerships. And look at that's just a dad being a dad. Right? In high school, my dad wanted me to get the ball passed to me more. Right? That's just my dad wanting to see his son succeed. I'm not mad at a dad going, my son should be worth, he should get part ownership, buy him a Corvette, all those things. That's dad talk. I'm never going to be mad at a dad for asking more for his son. That's a good father. Okay. The Ball's dad did it. I wasn't mad when he did it. And Caleb Williams' dad is smart for doing it too. But is your kid it? Is he Patrick Mahomes? Should I buy him a crown? Because I don't know. He's not willing to compete even against lesser quarterbacks at this point. JJ McCarthy's a nice talent. He won the national title. That arm and accuracy is a little suspect to me. Okay, Michael Penix Jr., I think we've seen his best. And Bo Nix hit in college football for 8 years past when he was supposed to. Jaden Daniels sitting there going, well, I'm the Heisman Trophy winner. I'm not going to play this combine game. Drake May looks big. So go out there and beat up on and showcase how much better you are than JJ McCarthy, Michael Penix Jr., and Bo Nix. Why aren't you? That's what's interesting to me because I know you think you're the number one pick and you've put enough tape out there. But if it comes easy to you, if you can sing in front of thousands and it's just another day in the office, that's when I know that I can draft you number one and we can move on from Justin Fields and we don't have to worry about anything else. Because I'll tell you what, Bears fans have been patient. They should start getting tired. The Chicago Bears are a legacy team. They're a family heirloom. Think about that for a second. Right? They're like the Steelers. The Chicago Bears fan base isn't just, "Oh, I'm a Bears fan. I like that logo." They're passed down. It was my great-great-grandfather's favorite team. His grandfather watched after that. My father's a Bears fan, and I love the Bears too. Don't those fans deserve a fair and honest direction? Don't they deserve something to look forward to? When grandpa brings the pizza over and dad's frying up the wings, I'm grabbing the beer. We should look forward to victories. We shouldn't sit here as Bears fans and go, man, I really wish they didn't draft Caleb Williams. We should have stuck with Justin Fields. He was getting better, and now we have to deal with this. They shouldn't have to think about that. The family heirloom should be worth something. Those jerseys in your closet, when you put them on, maybe they have some holes on them, but those are memories. Those are memories from when the Bears used to be good, right? When Ditka owned and ran that franchise. When it was Buddy Ryan on defense, right? Jim McMahon at quarterback. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for guys that don't back down from challenges. And I think what we're getting right now is a bunch of quarterbacks that think they've done enough. The Caleb Williams, the Jaden Daniels, Drake May, they think they've done what Joe Burrow did, but they haven't. And I challenge those guys to go out there and start competing. I like guys that compete. It's not that I'm just writing or doing videos here and I want something to talk about, but I do like guys that go out there and put themselves on the line. I think it's very important. By the way, no one's going to hit you. Shouldn't that be said? No one is going to hit these guys at the combine. It's just you, a guy throwing you the ball, and your arm. That's it. Do you have it? I need to see it. I think it'd be interesting. And by the way, I think that if you compete from the beginning, you set a precedent, right? What you're doing is setting certain baselines, right? So if I beat you in the combine, I'm gonna enter the league and beat you everywhere else too. Right? I'm the best in this class. You're in it, but I'm the best, right? Because if I could beat everybody in my class, then I can start being compared to Patrick Mahomes and then Joe Burrow and then CJ Stroud and Trevor Lawrence and all these great quarterbacks, Dak Prescott's. Okay, but not beforehand. If I didn't even compete against my class coming in, what am I going to do against when Patrick Mahomes is standing hash marks away from me? Do you think I'll shrink? Do you think I'll back down? Do you think I'll cower? All those adjectives that I just used might describe the quarterbacks in this draft class, the ones that didn't showcase their skills. Call me crazy. I like a guy that walks in there and goes, you know what? I'm giving my best effort. That's where I'm from. That's who I'll always be. I got to be that guy. That's why I try to give you guys the best sports information that I possibly can and go out there and write my tail off and give you guys great videos. Give me guys that compete. Those are my favorite guys. Guys, I'm Jack Neary, Fantasy Farm Sports. Subscribe. Just click that button. I think it's right down here. Where's my hand? Right down here somewhere. Click subscribe, and we'll give you some more videos.